నా సావు నేను చస్తా నీకెందుకు తమ్మి తమ్ముడు నా సావు నేను చస్తా నీకెందుకు అక్క నా సావు నేను చస్తా నీకెందుకు సావు అంటే చచ్చిపోవడం కాదక్క నా బ్రతుకు నేను బ్రతుకుతా వెల్కమ్ టు ఆంటర్‌ప్రెన్యూర్‌షిప్. A word of caution before we get into the actual topic. A word of caution: 90% of the people who give speeches, they use the word innovation. For them it's a buzzword, innovation. They think everything should be innovative. The fact is, all the things need not be innovative. In most of the cases, innovation is not required. Even if the innovation is required, it is not the type of the innovation they are talking. And innovation doesn't always bring profits. If your product is innovative, doesn't mean people are going to purchase it and you are going to make huge profit. So whether you make huge profit or not, it depends on the customer, whether you have these paying customers or not. That's what matters. So don't bother if innovation is used by somebody, and don't get discouraged. Unfortunately, most of the people use it, and it is killing the enthusiasm of the youngsters, particularly the students. And most of the people think that they are not innovative. They are not innovative. For them, innovation is a big thing, so they are not innovative. They get discouraged, and they don't try to do anything related to entrepreneurship. So it's not true actually. If you consider Google, Facebook, Amazon, are they really innovations? Are they first time innovations? Not really. When Amazon was introduced, there was already eBay, which was having a lot of market, and Amazon slowly captured that market. In fact, now also eBay is a competitor for Amazon, particularly in USA. But Amazon, because of its tactics, it has captured the most of the market. Similarly, the case with the Facebook. Before this Facebook also, there were some kind of social media. People were using it. Though limited in number, people were using it. Similarly, Google search. Google search is not actually a product of Google. They brought it from somebody else, and they played some tactics which resulted in the success. Now, what is the tactic I am talking about, or what is the innovation I am talking about? Is business model innovation. It's the way you do the business. You don't need to have product innovation, process innovation, service innovation, etc. But the way you do business, it should be changed. The way you do business, that's what matters. So what is required is business model innovation, not product, process, or service innovations. So whenever somebody asks you to be innovative so that you can become an entrepreneur, don't believe them. So innovation is not required. Even sometimes business model innovation may also not be required. Okay, so best of luck. So in this presentation, we will follow this 3-point formula as advised by Steve Jobs. So we discuss 3 points. What is entrepreneurship? Why entrepreneurship? How entrepreneurship? What is, why, how? Entrepreneurship. The first thing, what is entrepreneurship? The definition as given by Harvard Business School professor Howard Stevenson. Entrepreneurship is the pursuit of opportunity beyond resources control. Okay, you are searching for the opportunity. Now, opportunity means it's not about want or desire. It's about the necessity of the customer, or need or gap of the customer. Whether there is necessity of something for the customer, and all the resources that are available are unable to provide or fulfill that necessity, so there is a gap, so go ahead. So only bother about this necessity, not the want or desire. Similarly, the resources, if you consider the resources can be physical resources, human resources, financial resources, and then intellectual resources. So all these are not required during the beginning of the entrepreneurship. So whenever say you want to start a startup, all these are not really required. All these are not really required in the sense that you don't require any additional resources. Physical resources, you just need your computer, desktop or laptop or even mobile. So they are enough. They are enough. If you require somebody else, something else, you can purchase. You can purchase with your own money. You can purchase your own money. We can call it as a seed fund. Seed fund. Don't try to get the investment from somebody else. So you use your seed money. That means your money, your father's money, your friend's money, maybe your relative's money. Okay, somebody who is close to you, use that money. Seed fund. Human, you don't require anybody else unless you are not developing anything on your own. The idea itself doesn't belong to you. You are not in a position to implement the idea. Then you can go. You can go with some human resource. You can hire somebody. You can hire somebody. You can hire somebody. But in most of the cases, it's up to you. You are the human. You are the human and intellectual also. Your brain. So you start with your brain. Okay, you are the person, and you invest your own money. You invest your own money. Business versus startup. There's a lot of confusion regarding this one. Business is the execution of the business model, whereas startup is the search for the business model. It means already something is established. You continue that one. You do it on your own, then it becomes a business. You want to start a medical store. Everybody knows how to start a medical store. So follow the procedure. Now you are starting a business. Whereas startup is search for the business model. Search for the business model. That means how to do the business. Okay, you are not going to do, say, again the same way of starting the same this medical shop. Okay, you have to follow something else. You have to do something else. What is that? Maybe instead of this offline medical store, you start an online medical store. Maybe you print the pamphlets, distribute it to different people. Maybe you take the poster of your medical shop and then display it at near all the junction points, or maybe near the lift of different apartments, etc. It's a way of doing the business that you have to search. What is the need? What is the need? What is the need that you have to bother about? Okay, many people will not be able to go to the medical store. Even if they can go to the medical store, there will be urgent needs. There will be urgent needs. So there should be some way of fulfilling that requirement, that necessity. So that's all about startup. Startup over a period of time, of course, becomes the business. So initially you can call it a startup, then it becomes business. Reasons for entrepreneurship. Why entrepreneurship? If you think you are the first person in your family to become an entrepreneur, you are wrong. It is the world's second oldest profession, and all our ancestors are actually entrepreneurs only. That's how civilization progressed. If you know something, say carpentry, you do the carpentry work, you sell it, get the money, or get something else. So it's the world's second oldest profession. It's not the new thing. Lifetime employment, it's gone. So your father, your grandfather might have served in an organization for 30 years, 40 years. It's not going to happen with you. It is not happening with us also. So it's not going to happen with you. So lifetime employability is required, not lifetime employment. So usually if you take this software industry, so maximum 10 years people will work. During the initial stages, not even 10 years, 2-3 years, people will change the job until they get themselves established. But unfortunately, as soon as they establish it, maybe after another 5 years, 6 years, they may be discouraged. That means the elephant in a room scenario comes into picture. Elephant in a room scenario. Elephant in a room means elephant is nothing but the senior employees. Senior employee of any organization can be considered as an elephant. So imagine elephant in a room. If there is elephant in a room, there will be no space for others, or little space for others. Similarly, the case if senior employees are there, that means huge amount of money has to be paid to them as salaries. Other people will get less salary. So corporations, organizations, etc., they think that it's unnecessary to pay that much amount of money. So they will indirectly ask you to leave, maybe directly also. So that is the elephant in a room scenario. It is happening everywhere, even in the academic institutions. People are finding ways to improve their skills. A lot of opportunities are there. You can do it offline and also online. Online, huge impact is there now. Corporates are encouraging, like Mahindra. People are permitted to experiment whatever their ideas are there. They can experiment. They will be provided the required resources. If they are successful, they can become a partner with the organization. Now you are no longer an employee. You have become a partner as far as that product is concerned. Mergers, outsourcing, etc. are happening, and then there is what is called a downsizing. So some people are being removed because of this mergers, etc. And lifespan has increased because of it. There are more number of workers. So even at the age of 50, 60, people are able to work. Not everybody, but people are able to do the routine work. So success has become temporary. If you are good at something, doesn't mean that you will be good at that same thing over a period of time. There will be many people who are better than you also. Who may be better than you also. And passion, you may be having passion, you want to do something, but your organization doesn't permit you. So you can start doing on your own something on your own. Trends indicate the same. And crowdsourcing is happening. Crowdsourcing means, so if I have a problem, there are some websites where I can post my problem. Somebody will come forward to solve that problem. I will reach a contract with them. They will complete the work. They will get some money, and that's all. Contract is deleted. So that is happening nowadays. So there's no need for the organizations to employ people. The main question: do you have the required ability? Okay, fine. Do you have the required ability? Children think they are creative. As adults, we think we are not creative. And the main reason being schools and colleges. These are not my words. These are the words of Sir Ken Robinson, who says that schools are actually killing creativity. As a child, you are a question mark. You take chance, you take risk, you don't have ego problems. But unfortunately, as you become an adult, you stop taking the risk. You think whatever is is fine. That is the only thing. So you don't you don't try to learn new things. If somebody contradicts you, you may get in an argument with them. So you become a full stop. You go into a shell and start living within the shell. Please check your ego level. There should not be any ego. Now, how do you build a startup? Okay, you want to become an entrepreneur. There is necessity. How to do it? So is there a need for your product? You have to check it. It can be a service also. Okay, product doesn't mean it's just a physical product. It can be a service also. Is there a need for your product? Are there the customers? Are there paying customers? And are they ready to buy from you? These are all the things which you have to find out. And is it the correct time? For all these things, what you have to do is get out of the building. That means you don't find all these things by sitting in your bedroom and then imagining. You have to go in search of customers, find them, talk to them, and then take a decision. Okay, so don't make your product a baby. Don't think it's a baby. Okay, if necessary, you have to throw the baby and then consider a new baby, because you are selling it. You are not owning it, you are selling it. So that's what you have to do, and then make incremental changes to the product. Don't try to develop everything at a time, because first initially prototype is built and then again it is shown to the customer. Take the feedback, improve it, again show to the customer. This process continues. This process continues. Soft launch. So always do the soft launch. Don't try to launch your product. Don't try to sell it to everybody else. Okay, do a soft launch. Invest only some amount of money. Check the market. Depending on the encouragement from the market, you have to expand. Choose some customers only. Customer segmentation is required. Whether the service product which you have developed is suitable for youngsters or old age people, boys or girls, like that you have to decide, and then concentrate on only one customer segment. Get investment from the right people at right time. Don't try to get the investment during the beginning. So nobody is a philanthrope. They invest to make money. Initially, if you do give the number of shares to somebody else because they are investing, you are going to repent later. Because they don't do any work. They have invested. You do the major work, but your share is less. Your team is your strength and weakness. Because somebody is a friend, don't ask him to join. Okay, you should have similar vision, similar value system. They are required. So if you find persons who have similar vision, similar value system, and have complementary skills, then you can proceed with the team. Otherwise, don't go with the team. So this is one of the major reasons why startups fail. Wrong team. What is startup in India? Consider what is startup in India. There are 3 points. So up to 5 years after incorporation, that means you have to actually register the startup with website in Ministry of Corporate Affairs. You register it for 5 years. It is called as startup, and your turnover should not exceed 25 crores in the last 5 financial years, and you should be working towards innovation, some kind of innovation. So again, don't get discouraged. Product or process innovation, etc. Some kind of innovation, some new method of doing the business, development, deployment, and commercialization. Even if you fail to register with a startup, doesn't matter. It's not mandatory for you to register as a startup to become an entrepreneur. You can do on your own. You need not register also. There will be some organizations, state government related organizations, where you will be registering, and then doing the work. So always aim for commercialization. Don't try to become a social entrepreneur. So you need money to survive. So this is regarding startup in India. So what we have discussed: what is entrepreneurship, why entrepreneurship, how entrepreneurship. These are the things which we have discussed. So if you have passion, or otherwise also, go ahead with the startup. You have to take some risk, chance, depend on yourself, depend on your brain, your money. Develop it incrementally. That's what you have to do. Last but not least, a surprise element, only to encourage you. You know, a few years back I want to quit my job. Probably you are not knowing, and why you should bother about it. Definitely you should not bother about it. But the thing is, I'm just sharing my experience. I want to quit the job. Okay, But if I quit the job, I'm not financially sound. Where should I go? Now, shall I stop everything? No. So what I'm doing is I'm doing things in a part time. That means I have not started any business, private business, etc. But I'm doing these YouTube videos. I'm recording videos of my interest, your interest, and somehow I'm moving in that direction, becoming an entrepreneur. So you can also become an entrepreneur. You do not do anything full time. You can do it part time also. Great resignation scenario is happening starting from before Corona, actually, some few years before Corona. During the Corona period, it is drastic, and then it is also now continuing. 20% of the people in countries like USA have resigned, and they have chosen other opportunity. They have become either entrepreneur or chosen other opportunity, entrepreneur or other opportunity or other job. Take inspiration from Treacherous 8. Treacherous 8 is nothing but the collection of people who actually started Intel. Robert Noyce and Murray, these are the two persons. They were working with William Shockley, who invented actually a transistor, who was a brilliant mind. But because of various reasons, they come out of that organization. At that time, they were called as Treacherous 8. 8 people have come out. So they are called as Treacherous 8. And they started their own company called as Fairchild, and later they found the Intel also. Nowadays you can see if you use the word processor means by default it is Intel. So if necessary, if you have required capability, if you have required resources, quit. You can survive. But the point is you can survive. You do not follow me. You can survive. But establish yourself. So experiment with few things. So usually in first startup, second startup will be a failure. You will learn something. Failure in the sense that they are not utter flops. Okay, learn certain things because you don't know how to do the business, how to market your product, how to sell your product, how to build the product. All these things you are not knowing. So you need experience. You gain experience by doing certain things. So after getting confidence, you can go ahead. Best of luck. Thank you.